According to Jeff Bezos, Tuesday was the best day of his life. With millions of people watching, he and a crew of 3 others took off from a launch site in Van Horn, Texas, eventually traveling at Mach 3 as they headed about 66 miles above the planet. Best day ever, Bezos proclaimed from the pod. This is from an article by Vanity Fair. Meanwhile, a week before that, another eccentric billionaire, Richard Branson, also made it to space. He posted pictures of it on his Instagram. There he is. Can you see it? You always got to wonder how they have the technology to get to space, but not how to set up a proper webcam as it's happening. Anyway, Richard Branson wrote on his Instagram, "I was once a child with a dream, looking up to the stars. Now I'm an adult, in a spaceship, looking down to our beautiful Earth, to the next generation of dreamers. If we can do this, just imagine what you can do." Okay, so that's one way to look at it. He's a dreamer who made his dream come true, and he made it to space. Another way to look at it is he's out of touch and incredibly disrespectful to be doing this during a pandemic and a time of economic devastation, which has caused, at least in America, the greatest loss of jobs since the 2008 financial crisis, and just one of the toughest periods for this world that our generation, our century really, has lived through. And does that mean we can't have dreams during a pandemic? Of course not. I have dreams, you have dreams, we all have dreams. And I guess for a billionaire, their level of dreaming is a bit different than our level of dreaming. But still, something rubs me the wrong way about that. Leaving the planet at a time like this, traveling into space at a time when people in some countries can't even travel to visit their grandparents. Some places you can't even travel to go for a walk around your neighborhood. I know people in Vietnam who currently need a permission slip just to go to the grocery store to buy groceries because they are in a total lockdown in Vietnam right now. I lived in Ho Chi Minh City back in 2016, so I have a couple of Facebook groups I follow, and that's how I keep up with the news over there. Vietnam was doing great at stopping the virus in the first year. They had almost no cases, but now they have a huge outbreak, and their government has shut down everything. You can't even get food delivered to your house. Everything is done. So imagine you're a little kid in Vietnam, and you're stuck in your little apartment, because they have little apartments over there. They don't have a lot of space for the most part. And you're stuck in this little apartment with 6 other people. And in the Vietnamese newspaper, you see some little line at the bottom saying, Richard Branson, American billionaire, goes to space. And he's talking about how your dreams can come true. What do you guys think about that? Is it a sign that your dreams can come true? Or is it a sign that wealthy people just live in their own reality and don't have any respect, don't have any regard for the suffering that most people are dealing with? Oh, look how overexposed I am with that sun. Let me fix that. Anyway, it's something I think about. Something I think about when I hear stories like this, and I'm conflicted, okay? Because on the one hand, I've heard the argument that, like, new technology always starts with the wealthiest people, right? This is even true of things like the internet, things like flat screen TVs, and even personal computers. You know, back in the day, a personal computer that was like the size of a room and it cost $100,000. It was like the internet was just a play toy for eccentric, weird, rich people. And then eventually, you know, economies of scale, everything gets created more and more, and the bugs get figured out. And after the crazy rich people have played with it for a while and they get bored, they move on to something else. Then it becomes cheaper to make. And then suddenly everyone can have access to the internet. Everyone can have access to flat screen TVs. Everyone can have access to space travel. I don't know about that one. I don't know if we'll ever have a time when we can all just hop in a spaceship and go to space for 8 minutes and then come back down. I could see a situation where we're facing a catastrophic environmental crisis, which might not be too far away if you listen to the climate scientists. And then those of us who can afford it or who can make it on the spaceships will need a kind of emergency evacuation from the Earth, and then we try to start some new life on Mars. I could see that happening. But will we have a situation where all 8 billion of us will just be able to, you know, fly ourselves into space for space tourism? I don't think so. With that being said, if one of these billionaires, if the Elon Musks or the Richard Bransons or the Jeff Bezoses of the world somehow came across my YouTube videos and said, hey, we want a YouTuber to make a vlog about about space travel. We want to get some production quality. Come on. Make a video about our next trip to space. I would be there in a heartbeat. I would put aside all my judgment and all my critiques of what they're doing, and I would be on that trip, and I would go to space. Because I do agree that there's something magical, something otherworldly about leaving your own planet, if only for a few minutes, and looking down at the Earth and seeing it. I mean, that must be one of the coolest moments imaginable, don't you think? Looking down at your own planet. So I understand what they're talking about when they say I had a dream and I saw it through, and they want other people to be excited for them. But the thing is, Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos, the thing is, a lot of us down here on Earth are still suffering. The pandemic is not over. A lot of people have seen their jobs disappear, in part due to companies like Amazon, which have, you know, taken over so many industries. That's essentially what they're doing to the world right now. I mean, even buying camera gear. There's camera shops in Montreal, and I try to frequent them. But when I go there, it's just kind of a sad place. Like, it's usually, they like look up from their desk like, oh, is there a customer? Is there a customer? And, you know, you go there, and if you have something and they don't have what you need, and you need it quick, you just buy it off Amazon, and it'll be there in like 1 or 2 days. And then, I mean, I guess it's progress. I guess it's unavoidable. Maybe I'm just like an old man, like screaming at a cloud, like I'm trying to fix something that can't be fixed, trying to bring back time. I don't hate capitalism. I don't hate this world that progresses and changes. I don't even hate Jeff Bezos for making what is it? $207 billion is now what he's worth. Some people say Jeff Bezos will be the first trillionaire we've ever known. We'll see. We'll see. But for the man who's about to be the first trillionaire to be up there saying best day ever, and for the rest of us to be seeing that on the news or reading that in the newspaper, and how are we supposed to feel about that? Good job, Jeff. You had the best day ever. I mean, $207 billion. Have you guys ever thought about what a ridiculous number that actually is? I know when you have big numbers, it's hard to comprehend, but Neil deGrasse Tyson, the scientist, had a tweet about how much money that actually is. To provide a bit of perspective here. I mean, $1 billion. You can buy a sports franchise for $1 or $2 billion. Like, Jeff Bezos could literally buy every single baseball team in the baseball league. And then a year later, he could decide, oh, I don't like baseball. And just get rid of all the teams. That's the end of baseball. No more baseball. Jeff Bezos got hit on the head with a baseball when he was a kid, and now he doesn't like baseball anymore. He got rid of baseball. And he would still not really see any impact on his daily life. He would still have an unimaginable amount of wealth. So, like, what are we even talking about? I would feel very guilty to have that amount of wealth after traveling to the places I've traveled and seeing the way a lot of people live. And seeing how even like $10 a month, $20 a month could make a life-changing situation for some people who are still struggling to put food on the table for their kids in the year 2021, when billionaires are going to space. Space tourism. Give me a break. The world needs to progress together. And if you're going to tell me that this is a moment for humanity that we should all be proud of, that's bullshit. I believe we should go to space. I would love to be part of the human race to explore space. But we need to do it together. We need to lift up the bottom. We need to lift up the poorest and most vulnerable members of society. And we need to grow as a species together. And for me, when you pick a time like this, a time of such great suffering and economic hardship for all these people, to take your little space toy and fly to space for eight minutes and burn untold amounts of carbon into the atmosphere and be up there saying, best day ever. Nah, man, that's not it. It's just not a good look. Just not a good look. What do you guys think about it? Space tourism. Billionaires going to space. Let me know your thoughts down below.